Rockstar. Welcome to episode 121, Redefining FOMO. I've always kind of hated that word. Let's redefine the fear of missing out. Does decision making have to be so exhausting? Now, I've got a lot of great stuff to dig in here today, but first, a quick message. Today's episode is brought to you by my Rockstar Slackers accountability and coaching program. Now, Rockstar Slackers is focused on holding music professionals accountable to the goals that they've set and help them become more empowered decision makers, which we're going to talk about today. Now, just listen to some of these wins from past and present slackers. Megan Kuhar said, she has talked me out of overanalyzing every decision. Tony Fuel said, it felt really great saying no and to not make a decision based on FOMO. And Ian Hewlett recently shared, I decided that I needed that type of incremental focus, what I've learned from Suzanne, her planning, but in a way that I can apply it to my own unique experience. I decided that that day-by-day approach to time blocking and planning pushed me into being too rigid, but I do need to block out time to coordinate effort. I decided on a weekly, not daily approach that's better for me. I love to hear things like this. You don't have to take my advice so specifically. Take something that you like and make it work for you. Now, you can join for less than $1.50 a day, and during your 3-month minimum subscription, we will tailor emails to you on a weekly basis for 12 weeks to nail down important foundational trainings to help you build sustainable habits to grow your business, including decision making. Now, with weekly office hours, monthly coaching sessions, and new quarterly members-only trainings and events, just to name a few of the features, you'll get more done and feel better doing it as an empowered CEO supported by a community of like-minded creatives. Interested in joining us? Head over to therockstaradvocate.com/rockstar-slackers. The link is also below in the show notes. Now, if you don't need help staying accountable, if you're not someone looking for a community to connect with and cheer you on, and if you don't get stuck where you could use a coach readily available to answer your questions, then this isn't for you. It's not for everybody. You might not need it right now, and that's okay. Empower yourself to make decisions to know when something is right for you and when it's not. Now, I was speaking to an artist once at a music conference a while back, and they said to me, I'm sick of hearing these industry people hawking their stuff all the time. They give advice and then they want us to use their product or their service. I said, like musicians always selling their music or merch to make a living? So I said, listen, are there some people who are always trying to sell you everything under the sun and they're like walking billboards and they have no interest in actually making a connection with you? 100%. But that's true in every industry. But if someone is going to speak to you and offer you free advice and spend time helping you get over some hurdles in your career, they also kind of have a right to make a sale. But in addition to that right, they likely can help you even further. So they'd actually be doing you a disservice to not tell you about a service or product that they think can help you more. Now, the reason that person and others, maybe even yourself, are bothered by the sale is because you're overwhelmed by choices, and likely almost everything thrown at you is either a distraction or something you end up buying. But here's the thing, that's on you. And that's exactly why I'm doing this episode today. So if that little story was relatable, keep watching and listening. My biggest mission with the Rockstar Advocate, more than helping people manage their time, more than inspiring people to plan and make planning a better habit and reflecting on that plan, more than all of that is to empower them to make decisions that feel good and get them to a place of clarity where decisions come easily and quickly. Now, in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he says that successful people make quick decisions that they tweak slowly. Go with your gut and take that action and then adjust accordingly bit by bit. The worst thing I see is artists or new entrepreneurs giving up control by asking other people to decide for them. Delegating tasks is one thing. Delegating decision making is quite another. Giving yourself permission to know that you know best about the decisions and choices that you make in your life is the freedom of saying yes or no to the things that you want to say yes or no to in order to create the life that you want. Now, in episode 31 of this podcast, back when it was the Musicpreneur Mindset, I did an episode called The Freedom in Permission. So if you have trouble giving yourself that permission, if you're constantly asking other people what you should do or make this decision for me or figure this out for me, if that sounds like you, I highly suggest you go back to episode 31 and take a listen. The link to that episode is in the show notes below this video. Now, does this mean that you always make the right decisions if you're the one calling the shots? Of course not. That's why last week I did an episode on making mistakes and how they actually help you grow faster. Now go check that one out if you haven't already. That's episode 120. But when you make the wrong decision, it's yours. Which I'm sure you're sitting there thinking, yeah, Suze, I know, that's why I want somebody else to make the decision. So when it's wrong, I don't have to feel responsible. Listen, I get it. But ultimately, when you make wrong decisions, you're going to be training your gut and your intuition so much more quickly and effectively. Okay, you made a wrong decision, but now you know why. And now you know what feeling, what that feeling was trying to tell you, or why you didn't feel so excited about it, or why you had that pit in your stomach that you were just ignoring. Now you're going to tell yourself, oh, don't ignore that feeling. You're going to understand your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions on a much deeper level when you take control over your decision making. Now, if someone is selling you something and you don't have a good gut feeling that it's for you, they're not the enemy. It just means that it's not a good fit for you and that you can say no. Now, if they're the type to not accept a no, then you just simply say, no, thank you. My mind is made up and I don't wish to discuss this any further. Right? That wasn't so hard. You can do that. Now, when I'm talking to a potential client, I will ask about a no a little bit more, only because if I don't think that somebody is confident in that no, I want to make sure that there's not something else they're worried about, or there's not something else that they're confused about. And so if some aspect of that decision doesn't sound confident to me, I want to just peel the layers there to make sure that they really do want to say no, and not no because they're doubting themselves. I want them to make a solid decision no matter what that is. Listen, I feel great when I hear somebody say no and it sounds like a firm decision. I'm not insulted. I actually feel great about it because I know they're making a decision that's right for them. I am not the enemy. They are not the enemy. It's just a transaction and it wasn't the right fit for them. Why would I want to work with somebody who's not a right fit for me? So when you're talking with somebody, or you're doing research online, or you're reaching out to somebody to help you, don't be afraid to ask questions in order to make a more informed decision, or shut the conversation down when you've made up your mind. Growing your business or career takes a lot of decision making, and it's up to you to know what you need. Another quick conference story. Now, some of you have heard me tell this story before, but I was at a conference and I was on a panel with so many badass industry people, from experts in YouTube to a PR consultant. I think there was a music reviewer, all these different areas of the business. And an artist raised their hand and they said, I'm trying to build my music career. I don't know what to do next. And everybody at the table just jumped in at the same time. Well, no. YouTube is the way to go. You're missing out if you're not growing a YouTube channel. Well, no, you can't do anything if you don't have a couple of reviews in your bag already. You need to be hitting that PR press train. Well, no. If you don't have, your music at the pristine place, like, you need to get a good mix engineer. And I'm just sitting there. I was like, okay, everybody stop. Listen, everybody up on that panel was correct. They know their expertise and they know that their processes or their practices have helped artists get to where they're going. But is it that artist? Is that artist the right artist for them? And so I said, you're asking the wrong questions. First, you need to tell us what you're trying to do in your career. Do you even like being on camera? Do you like playing live? Do you like performing your own songs? Would you prefer to be a cover act? Or do you want somebody else to write your own songs? What do you like to do? What are you trying to build? That will then tell you who up here on this panel of experts is going to be the one to help you get to the next step, is going to be the one to help you clarify your next step. So you got to figure out step one, and that's knowing what you want and why you want it. And when I say letting other people make the decisions for you, that also includes scrolling on social media and letting an ad that's telling you, hey, I've got the best new thing that's going to get you the next 10,000 followers. Click here to learn more and buy our product. It might be an awesome product, but it might not be what you need right now or at all if what they're selling you is not on the same path as where you're trying to go. It might be for the artist who's looking maybe next door. So if you're just clicking and buying because the ad said it's going to get you 10,000 more followers, and you're not thinking the decision through, then you've delegated that decision to the person in the ad. All right, so keep that in mind when you're scrolling. Don't allow the ads to overwhelm you. Before I go on social media, I always try to say to myself, do I need help right now at something? If not, I'm going on social media to just scroll and enjoy and waste 2 hours of my day. But if I do need help with something, I'm just keeping that one thing in mind. Do not get derailed by 50 million other things. And sometimes something does pop up where I didn't realize I needed help with something. And if that kind of jolts me, well, then I sit and think to myself, well, wait a minute, is this worth going off the course I was just on? So you've got to learn how to streamline your decision-making process so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming and you're not like, well, Suze, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out this step, and then I go on social media to do something and I'm getting ads all over the place and I'm so overwhelmed. I'm buying all the things, I'm not finishing any of them, I don't know what to do. Okay, streamline your decision-making process. In episode 59, I did an episode called The Power of Decision Fatigue, because it's a real thing. And I've made a decision map that you can see right over here. Right? Is it there? This decision map, which you can download for free. I just put the link right there. You don't even need to give me your email address. I want to make it as easy for you to just have this in your back pocket. Just download the decision fatigue map. It's a 1-page PDF. The link is below in the captions. I think it's also in that episode where I go over how to make quick and easy decisions to know that it's right for you. All right, so I'm not making the decision for you, but I'm telling you how to make the decision. So go ahead and download that if you'd like. You have to think to yourself, what is the opportunity here? And is that opportunity related to the goal that I'm trying to achieve? And just remember, there is no one way to success. So if you make the wrong decision, you're either going to get inspired to go in a different direction that you never thought possible, or you're just going to say, oh, actually, I wasted a little time there, wasted a little money, wasn't the right fit for me, but now I know. Okay, back on my course. It's going to be one or two of those things. Now, if you're worried about getting totally distracted and having that squirrel brain, having that shiny object syndrome mentality, it's important to know the difference between pivoting and just ping-ponging. Now, wouldn't you know, I have an episode on that too. Episode 62 is pivoting versus ping-ponging. So if you are having trouble with knowing when something is really pulling you in a new direction and it's worth it, or when you're just acting out of a state of fear and just kind of trying to get to everything, hoping that it just gives you answers, listen to episode 62. Now, I've listed about 4 episodes already that you could listen to. Do I expect you to listen to all of them? No. But I've listed different episodes that focus on different pieces that you might be a little blurry on or foggy about. So if one of those really speaks to the thing that you're feeling most foggy about, just go listen to that episode. You don't have to spend hours trying to get everything all at once. So I want you to make a decision. Now, all the episodes I listed are in the show notes below this video. I want you to decide for yourself which one episode, if I feel I need it beyond this episode, is going to help me most right now. What do I need clarity on the most? It might not be any of them. So you might say, thanks, Suze, I'm good. I'm going to move on with my day. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not trying to hawk all these different episodes. I don't make money off of them. It's not for me. But I am letting you know that these exist if they can help get clarity for you on a specific piece in your decision-making process. I want you to feel more confident in decisions so you don't regret them, even if that decision didn't turn out to be the right one. There's less regret when you know you can own it and say, I know why I made that decision, and I'm good with the outcome. There's also going to be decisions that you want to feel good about, but other people are going to get in your head and say, why did you do that? Or that's not what I would do. Or, whoa, you're crazy for thinking this is going to work. And it actually just might. All right, so the last episode I'm going to refer you to if you're feeling like, yeah, I don't make those common decisions, or I see what other people are telling me to do, but I really feel I need to go this way. Yeah, story of my life right here. And so I did an episode in episode 94 making unpopular decisions to grow your business. You are the one living this life. You have to feel good about the decisions. You don't have to explain them to anybody. That's why when I said if you're talking with somebody about using their services or product and they're like, come on, I think this would be good for you. I see how this can help you. And you're like, no. And they press a little bit further. You can simply say, no, really, my mind is made up. Like, I'm good with this. Thank you so much. That's it. And if they don't respect your decision there, then you got to hang up or just walk away. So make sure that you don't have to explain your decision to anybody. You just have to feel confident in making it. Okay, now before I leave, my redefining moment of the week is this. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't. I had a moment this week where I was just going and going and going to help others that, I felt, well, like, I can't say no. I can't say no, they need my help. Other people can help. If I don't have enough in me right now, if I don't have the bandwidth to help somebody, I need to just say no. Or I need to say, not right now. And I don't have to explain myself. It could be a friend, a loved one, a colleague, a client even. If you're working with somebody and it's not really a good time, reschedule. If you're not in the right headspace, postpone. It's okay to change your mind about a decision that you made, even if you felt super confident about it when you first made it, and now you don't. Don't feel that you owe anybody anything if it does not feel right for you. If you do not currently have the capacity, it is okay to say, not right now, or I've changed my mind, or I'm sorry, I can't do that for you right now. So I challenge you this week to think about a decision that you can make for you and not worry about what other people are going to think, and trust yourself. Just work on trusting your gut by making a decision that feels right for you. And you can start small. What are you going to have to eat for lunch today? What are you going to do after you finished this next song? Or what movie are you going to watch tonight after dinner? Start making more decisions and feeling confident in them. And thank you so much for listening and being with me here this week. I hope you'll join me next week right back here for another episode of Redefining the Hustle. I'll see you soon.